back with Brunch, a taste of Tobago, and it is such a pleasure. It is such an honor. You know, I love it when our young people are doing positive things. I love it when we are impacting humanity positively. And, you know, my next guest is one of those persons. She's not just an entrepreneur, she's a mom-entrepreneur. And I just had to put those two words together because she does it effortlessly and she does it so well. Darriane Phillips joins us, and Darriane is an accomplished designer. Her eye for art and African culture, she sees herself embodied as an African princess. And so this is the staple for her business called Euphoric Designs. So Darriane, thank you so much for joining us.
And thank you for having me.
Yes, and I just wanted to talk really briefly about your lovely ensemble.
Well, this is actually part of my last collection. I dropped in May as a part of the Iwa Africa fashion show, put on by the Emancipation Support Committee. The fashion show was labeled Sankofa Style. And so basically that's about going to the past, taking what is good and bring it to the present and making way for the future. So.
I love, there's radiance, there's excitement, creativity, versatility, you name it. And you just embody all those things. You walked in and you didn't speak. We didn't speak yet, but you walked in and all of those synonyms and adjectives I just mentioned, that's what I got. Also, I got positivity. And that's a wonderful, beautiful characteristic to have. So how did it start for you? Did you always have that, you know, interest, that talent for textures and tones and designing and art? How did it start for you?
The interest was really initially about me dressing up, because I like to dress up. I like to look good. Appearance is very, very important to me. And so I started because I wanted to be able to make clothes to fit me. And because I was always so small, so I couldn't find, because that's the first sizes that would go out, and they would have too small, maybe a medium, you know? And so I would never find clothes that would be able to fit me, so I started making my own. And well, it worked out very well, because here we are, 10 years later.
So. I would say
10 years later.
So you see, guys, not only the full-figured women have challenges when we go to the store, Contrary to what you guys think, the very small and slender of us all, we also have challenges when we go to the store, So I'm just putting that out there. So tell me about the Tobago Fashion Week. You were a part of that.
Trinidad and Tobago Fashion Week.
Yes, Trinidad and Tobago Fashion Week.
2016. It was a really nice experience. They would have allowed me to show at the airport show, and the responses, the love, the feedback that I would have gotten after was just amazing.
Amazing.
Yeah. It definitely was one of those things that helped me to continue. It motivated me to continue because I realized that people loved what I was doing, how I was doing it, you know. So I continued, and I'm always looking for ways to do something better, do something more, do something, you know, grand. And in that, I decided I was going to expand my brand a little bit and present Monday Wear. So I have an entire section of my business that caters to Monday wear, Juve wear, paint parties, that kind of thing. Because what I noticed is that the dress code for Juve and for paint parties no longer old jeans pants that you had from home or old jersey.
We're going
people
a step
dressing up
now.
and making sure that they are comfortable, making sure that all the parts secured, and because they still want to look good. right? And that's something that I would encourage, right? So the brand is always euphoric. The extension, sorry, is always euphoric. And this week coming, we are actually going to drop all the pieces that we have that would cater to this year, Tobago's Carnival, Monday wear, Juve parties, all of those things.
And you know, you embody the regality of African fashion, of African wear. Yes. You know, and there was something that you said about fashion not just being fabric or clothing.
It's not just cloth at all.
Yeah,
it's an entire experience.
Yeah.
It's an entire experience. Like when you come, I can speak specifically to one client, and she's not the only client, but there is one client who I would look forward to her coming into my shop to try on her clothes, because she is in the mirror and she's feeling herself and she's like, yes, this is me. Look at this fit. And, you know, so look at getting goosebumps. It's the entire experience that makes my brand my brand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's definitely euphoric.
Yes, yes, yes.
Hence the name.
It is.
Euphoric Designs.
Initially, the Euphoric Designs was because that's how I felt. But I am now realizing that my clients feel that way as well, because they are so comfortable. They really enjoy feeling the way they feel after they would have put on my clothes.
You know, and one thing that I saw at the TTMA's convention, what was that like?
It was an eye-opener. It was a really big eye-opener, because then I got to see what the world was looking for as it relates to fashion, as it relates to clothing. There are standards that I didn't even know existed for clothing and for importing and exporting clothing. And so I had the opportunity to learn a lot of those stuff. There were a whole lot of other businesses there, and you could see that these people are primed and ready for export.
Yeah.
And honestly speaking, I did not think that we had all of those facilities here. All of those opportunities that are here, we have them. They're just not out there enough. And I guess on the other side, people may be just a bit lazy to do all of it, because it's a lot of work.
Yeah.
It is. It is a lot of work to make sure that you, especially in my industry, you would have to do a lot of testing of the garments to make sure that the fabric you're using would not irritate skin and all of that.
So it's a whole vibe.
Yeah, it's a lot of stuff. But it is eye-opening. It was a really, really amazing experience. I went under community development. Even the whole team that went down, it was a wonderful opportunity for networking, because now I partner with a lot of the persons that went down.
There you go.
Because we would have built relationships and that kind of thing. And networking is a big, big thing for me. A really big thing. I must be able to call on people, and they must be able to call on me. That's because we can't do it alone.
Yeah.
And it's a room for everybody.
And that's a wonderful work ethic that you have, because you're speaking on inclusion. You know, and sometimes we get beside ourselves with the whole crab in a barrel mentality, and we want to grab, pull, and not realizing that we are losing the human aspect of things.
Exactly. I honestly could say that within the industry, my experience has not been a crab in the barrel mentality. I know that I could call on other designers who do the exact same thing as me. I could call on them for help. They could call on me for help, and I don't think that there is any animosity or anything like that, because I'm not the only one who's dropping Monday wear. And all of us, like one of the comments were, the place nice, because everybody dropping something and everybody dropping something nice, right? And it have room for everybody. It have room for everybody. Everybody could still get a piece of the pie.
Yeah, I love that.
Right?
I always wonder, what is it like backstage? Like if you're doing any sort of fashion expo or, you know, a runway, you know, these kinds of events where it's always buzzing, what is backstage like?
Chaos.
Oh my gosh.
Absolute chaos. Because most of the times it's not just about one designer, because a fashion show would not necessarily have one designer. So you have to recycle your models. So the models have to hustle and come off the stage, make sure the makeup suits in the next fit, make sure that they put on the clothes right. And it is a lot of chaos, but it's a nice chaos.
It's like exciting chaos.
It's an exciting chaos. It's definitely something I look forward to.
Yeah.
Especially with the Iwa Africa show that I just did. That it's very well organized, but there are still a lot of opportunities for chaos. A lot of chaos.
And the hiccups would happen where they may.
Yeah, and you really can't fight it.
Understood.
You really can't fight it. But that show usually would have a lot more models so that the recycling is not as much, so that the flow flows a little bit better. But it really is a nice chaos.
Yeah. But how do we reach you, Darriane? How do we reach you? Your numbers, social tags?
Right. So I'm on Instagram at the Euphoric Experience, and always Euphoric, always _Euphoric. I am on Facebook, Euphoric Designs, and WhatsApp at 463-4657. I prefer WhatsApp because it's a lot easier for me to respond as opposed to a phone call.
Yeah.
And I get a lot of, I can't say negative feedback with that, but there are a lot of persons who would prefer to make a call. But with my schedule being a mommy, I also tutor principals of accounts, principals of business. I am a designer. I volunteer with GCI Tobago, and I have a daytime job.
So it's busy.
Yeah, so I'm kind of always doing something. So to stop and take a phone call, I can guarantee you I will forget what is said on the phone call.
Whereas a message
is there. I can always go back to it.
Yes.
And I can always respond. I'm not going to remember to call you back.
Yeah, I understand that. Yeah. And, you know, it's just a matter of wearing so many hats, you know, and we take it and we run with it. Because I always say you either let life wrap you up, or you take the wrapping. You wrap it up, you know, and that just comes with experience. It comes with focus, knowing that you want to achieve, you know, a goal and working towards that. What's next for Darriane Phillips? What's next for you?
Well, I'm putting my focus on always Euphoric right now, because we're into the carnival season, and I mean, straight out of our carnival would be Trinidad and Tobago's carnival. National carnival. So I am putting my focus into always Euphoric because I believe that is something that a lot of people want. They want now to see Tobago designers doing things that they would have had to go to Trinidad to get.
Right.
You know, and all of us all out there trying to get on board with it. So yeah, that's my focus right now. Always Euphoric, Monday wear, Juve wear, paint party, that kind of vibe.
Yeah, that kind of vibe.
Yeah.
What would you say to young and upcoming creatives looking on today? If you had to leave a positive message, what would you say to our viewers today?
Don't stop practicing. Like, you have to keep at it. It could get very frustrating. It could get very frustrating when your needle breaking all the time, the thread bursting all the time, you're not getting this to fit. Just take a step back, take some breaths, and try again. Don't give up on it.
Yeah.
Because I'm self-taught, so nobody taught me how to cut, how to sew, how to thread the machine, none of that. Nobody taught me on any of that.
It was a journey.
It was a journey.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a journey. I fed up brain needle. Fed up mess up clothes. Yeah. Mess up cloth. You have to waste this. You have to throw it away because you really can't do nothing else with it. Just take your time and continue going at it. I've been at it 10 years.
Yeah. So that's the advice, guys. You have to keep going.
Keep at it.
It's something that you love and you're focused about. you have to keep going. And Darriane, we want to thank you so much for being here. I definitely have to call you because you have to do a piece for me.
Problem.
So I will definitely be, WhatsApp, because you might not answer my call. So WhatsApp, okay?
Yes.
All right. And we will be right back with Brunch, a Taste of Tobago. Let me just mention our trivia question once again. How many parishes are there in Tobago? We will be right back with more Brunch, a Taste of Tobago. See you guys soon.